Hello friends, welcome back to our channel Mechanical Engineering. So let us today study about some of the major systems, okay, in our mechanical engineering, like your hydraulic systems, pneumatic systems, mechanical systems and electrical systems, right? So where they are used, how they are used, what are the different elements in these systems, and what are the relative merits and demerits of all these systems taken together. With that means hydraulic, electrical, pneumatic and mechanical, right? So then you must naturally get a doubt that, sir, what is the relevance of studying all these systems? So if you go through the syllabus for your TSPSC, so you have seen that your automobile chassis body transmission system. So they're all your automobile is nothing but your mechanical system, right? Now if you go to the second your paragraph of your syllabus, you are having something like your fundamentals of electrical technology, okay, then basic electronics, devices, batteries, ignition system, etc. So these are all nothing but your electrical is coming, as well as your electronic system is also coming, right? So you know that in a compressor definitely the air is compressed, and you have to remember first of all what is a hydraulic system, what is pneumatic system, what is your electrical system, and what is your mechanical system. So hydraulic system is basically one, okay, in which the motion of the fluid is transmitted to some mechanical member, and that means your hydraulic energy. That means hydraulic means always remember pressure, okay, mechanical means motion, electrical means electrons, okay, so your pneumatic means air, okay, and similarly your mechanical, of course, right? So here if you see this relevance of this your all these systems is, you can easily see that electrical technology, basic electronics, that means you have to have the knowledge about your electrical systems, how they are working, etc. So then your pneumatic systems, and then your mechanical systems. And if for example so here you are having basic hydraulics, right? So in these hydraulics you are having fluid properties, flow of fluids, oil power hydraulics basically, right, and pneumatics, right? Here you are easily able to see that there is something related to your hydraulics and pneumatics, right? This is about your, so the relevance of the topic which we are going to study about, that means hydraulic systems, electrical systems, pneumatic systems and mechanical systems, to your TSPSC syllabus. Let us come to your what you call TSPSC syllabus. So here you can easily see that. So in the TSP syllabus also you are having something like all this related to your automobile, wheel element, all those things, right, related to your mechanical only. Let us say for your all this, okay, basically air standard cycles and all these gears, especially, right, gears nomenclature, simple compound gears, what you call elliptical gear trains, then calculation of torques, all the shafts, they are all mechanical elements, right? So now if you go to this, for example your, so what you call here you are having electrical system. In the APPSC also you are having electrical systems, Delco system, circuit wiring, working of electrical equipment, etc. And you know that if you go to fuel systems, definitely hydraulic pumps are working. So a hydraulic pump will be lubricating oil, it will be pumped, right? So what is the basic system working over there? It is basically hydraulic system, or hydraulic then mechanical system, right? So definitely all these systems are interrelated, intimately related. So all these hydraulic, mechanical, electronic, your electrical and pneumatic systems are intimately connected or related. So now today we are going to see different elements of all these systems: electrical system, pneumatic system, mechanical system and hydraulic system, and we are going to compare the relative advantages and disadvantages and some of the important parameters in all these systems. So let us go back, let us move forward. So this is your, so here there is a column like, so criteria. So what is the criteria? In the first column we are having criteria, in the second column you are having hydraulics, in the third column you are having pneumatics, then you are in the fourth column you are having electrical, and then you are mechanical, okay, for last column. So if you go through that criteria, various criteria are given. For example, what is the energy carrier in all these systems: hydraulic, pneumatic, electrical, mechanical, and similarly, so energy conversion from mechanical to which energy it is converted to? Is it hydraulic or pneumatic or electrical or mechanical? And now energy transmission, how the energy is transmitted in different systems, for example hydraulic, pneumatic, electrical and mechanical. And similarly energy control, so once you are able to produce energy, so definitely there has to be some control in the form of, in some form or the other, okay, to get the desired results. So here we are going to compare the energy control in various systems, how their energy is controlled in hydraulics, pneumatics, electrical and mechanical. And then your reconversion of energy. So for example, you are converting mechanical energy into your hydraulic energy, or hydraulic energy into mechanical energy. So accordingly it is called as hydraulic cylinder or motor. So this is something related to your reconversion of energy. For example, you are converting your hydraulic energy. For example, you are converting mechanical to hydraulic, then again you are converting to hydraulic to mechanical. So this is called reconversion of the energy. So how this is related to your hydraulic systems, then pneumatic systems, electrical systems, and mechanical, that also we are going to see. Then your energy storage. So how the energy storage is stored in various systems, like your, again once again, hydraulic, pneumatic, electrical, and mechanical. And then finally power terms. So this is a very important parameter. Whatever the system, whether it is hydraulic, pneumatic, electrical, or your mechanical. Okay, so hydraulic, pneumatic, electrical, mechanical. So power is a very important requirement for our mechanical engineers, right? So energy storage. How do your mechanical energy storage stored, or hydraulic energy stored, or your and your electrical energy is stored, and your pneumatic energy is stored. So this is going to, we are going to see under this column. Then finally, so of course just now I was talking about the power terms. So which is going to, which product of the two terms is going to give the power? In case of hydraulic systems, then your pneumatic systems, then your electrical systems, and then finally mechanical system. And then finally we are going to compare this system based upon the efficiency you are going to achieve in all these systems. So let us come to the energy carrier. In case of hydraulics, so naturally oil is the basically energy carrier. In case of pneumatic, it is the air which is going to carry the energy, and in electrical systems, electrons. So because of the flow of the electrons, that is nothing but your current only, you are able to get the power. So in the electrical systems, energy carriers are electrons, and in mechanical systems, solid material, for example shafts, levers, wheels, and all these chains are the mechanical members, right, energy carriers. So mechanical means something related to motion. Now energy conversion from mechanical. So from mechanical, in a hydraulic pump, your energy is converted to hydraulic energy, that means pressure. Basically what you are going to do with the help of a pump, you are going to pressurize the liquid. For example, you want to pump the liquid from the first floor or the ground floor to the fourth floor of a apartment. So what do? You are going to use a hydraulic pump, let us say 20 HP or whatever it is, right? For example, just for example, right? So here what is happening? The mechanical energy, you are supplying the mechanical energy through a motor, and that is converted to your pressure energy of the fluid, maybe water or any other fluid. Okay, so that is how. And similarly in air compressor, what you are doing? You are supplying with the help of a motor, you are compressing the air to certain pressure, suction pressure to discharge pressure. For example, 10 bar, 20 bar, 30 bar, whatever it is, right? Let us say your suction pressure is 1 bar. You are compressing it to 20 bar, 30 bar, like that. So you are basically, what you are doing? You are compressing. And your generators in the in the electrical, so from mechanical energy, so in an electrical generator, so if you are coupling your what you call turbine shaft to a mechanical electrical generator, so what will be happening? It will be converting into electrical energy, right? So let's not bother about that. So basically in electrical generator, your mechanical energy is going to be transformed into electrical power. And then of course finally powers mechanical, that engine, you are going to get the output power as your mechanical power and other prime movers. And now we are coming to the energy transmission. So how the energy is transmitted in case of your hydraulic systems, and then your pneumatic systems, electrical systems, and mechanical systems. So energy transmission elements are basically pipes and hoses. So your liquid or fluid or water or whatever it is, oil, that will be flowing through the pipes, hoses, and tubes. And similarly air also will be flowing through the pipes, hoses, and tubes, etc. So this is how energy is transmitted, because of the motion of the liquid or fluid or air, as the case may be. Similarly, in case of electrical systems, how the energy is transmitted? Through electric cables, electrical wires. That means the current is passing through the electrical cables and electrical wires. So you are nothing but your energy is in the form of current, right? So that is transmitted through electrical cables and wires in case of electrical system. And similarly in the mechanical systems, your energy is transmitted through shafts, gears, wheels, belts, etc. So basically where the belts are used for power transmission when the distance between the shafts, okay, is very large, maybe say 10 meters or 15 meters. But whereas gears are used to only connect two shafts which are at a very small distance, right? Maybe or the order of for some few centimeters, etc. Right? So that is the base. And your gears are basically positive drives, and your belts, there is a lot of slip in case of belts, but there is no slip in case of gears. Now let us come to the energy control. So once you got the energy source, then definitely you have to control it, otherwise it is going to have a lot of very bad impact. Okay, so that means you should be able to control the energy. So here we are going to see that it is very good with various valves. So you are going to use various valves in case of hydraulic systems and also in your pneumatic systems also, right? So with the help of these things, energy control, with the help of valves, you have got a good control in case of hydraulic systems and also in pneumatic systems. And then it is good for small powers with contractors and relays. So basically, when it comes to electrical systems, what are the energy control devices? So your relays and your contractors, etc. And it is not so good in case of mechanical systems, because actually there are losses, various losses, energy control. Like for example, not good with heavy gearboxes, levers, etc. Right? There are a lot of friction losses are there. So because of this, we are not having enough control, energy control. Right, it is very difficult also, right? Once the size of the your mechanical elements becomes very large, it will be very difficult to control them also, right? For example, in case I will give one example, right? For example, very big turbine is there and very small alignment is there, misalignment is there. Let us say let us say about 1.01 mm. So even if that misalignment is there in the shaft, turbine shaft, it is going to cause a lot of heavy accidents, very big accidents, which is going to which is going to lead to very high human loss or lives. So that is how, that means when the systems become very big, the energy control becomes very difficult in case of your mechanical systems. And then comes your reconversion of energy. So this hydraulic cylinders motors, in this basically your hydraulic energy is converted into mechanical energy, that means some motion. So whenever a fluid passes through some pressure drop, it is going to move certain elements, basic elements, right? So that is how your hydraulic energy is converted into mechanical energy. So they are called your hydraulic cylinders and motors. And similarly, in the same, if the working fluid is air, it is going to convert your air energy or pneumatic energy into your mechanical energy. So these are called air cylinders or air motors. And similarly, your electric motors. So electric motors are going to convert electric energy into motors. That means rotation of the shaft somehow. Okay. And once again, your wheels, chains, rams with cranks, they are also in which the reconversion of energy is going to take place. Now let us come to the very important aspect of energy storage. So in case of hydraulic systems, this energy accumulators are basically your hydraulic energy storage elements. So in hydraulic systems, there is a energy storage is limited, very limited, but whereas it is high with air reservoirs in case of pneumatic systems. And once again, if you come to electrical systems, your energy storage is very low in case of chargers and batteries. We know very well that, okay. And similarly, it is very low in flywheels also, right? So if you compare the energy storage, it is very low in mechanical, and then accordingly it is let us be a little bit lesser in case of your electrical systems. It is high in air and is highest and it is limited in case of your accumulators. Now let us come to the power term. So here your power into Q is the discharge. What is discharge? Discharge is equal to the area through which the fluid is flowing. It is the product of the area through which the fluid is flowing and also the velocity with which the liquid is moving inside the, let us say for example, through the cross section. So Q is equal to A into V. A is the area of cross section, V is the velocity. You know that area of cross section will be in meter square and velocity will be in meter per second. If you multiply, you will get meter cube per second. Yes or no? So now you know that the units of pressure are Newton per meter square. If you multiply Newton per meter square into meter cube per second, what you will get? Meter square get cancelled and Newton meter per second, that means joule per second, that means power. So you are going to get pressure into the discharge is the term which is going to give the power in case of hydraulic system. And similarly, it is same with your pneumatic systems. And you know, when it comes to electrical systems, you know that the product of V into I is going to give the watts or power or wattage. Okay. And similarly, if you go to mechanical systems, some force will be moving some element. So force into displacement, or this is for your linear motion, and torque into angular displacement, the angular angle turned, that is going to give the torque into angular displacement per second. Of course, this should be per second. Angular velocity actually, torque, yes, torque into angular velocity is going to give the power. So torque, you know that Newton, the units are Newton meters, and angular velocity is equal to radians per second. Of course, radians doesn't have any unit, so Newton meter per second, that means joule per second, that means your force, work per second, that is nothing but your power. Here actually force into displacement per second, it should be printed as velocity, but it has not been printed. But definitely force into velocity is going to give the power in case of mechanical systems. And finally, if you compare the efficiency, it is low due to the losses primary conversion involves and secondary conversions. Okay, so this is efficiency is low for your hydraulic systems. It is fair to good, that means gradually it is increasing, right? So the efficiency in case of your what you call hydraulic systems is low, and it is fair to good in case of pneumatic systems. It is very good, it is good in electrical systems, and it is good and very good. That means you can say that efficiency is very good if you compare with other systems in case of mechanical systems. So what we have seen, so today we have basically compared various systems connected with your mechanical engineering, that is your hydraulics, pneumatics, and electrical and mechanical. Of course, especially this is more relevant from the point of your your syllabus for assistant motor vehicle inspector examinations. So what we have analyzed today, so we have analyzed that. So we have actually seen the difference between the energy carriers, energy conversions, energy transmission, energy control and reconversion, energy storage, power and efficiency. We have come to know about the various terminology related to all these systems, and we have seen the various elements also, right? What are the energy control elements? What are the energy storage elements? Okay. So how the efficiency is changing, which is better, which is good, which is best for different systems, like that. Okay. So in a nutshell, we can compare like this. So let us come to the basically we have to compare two things here. Very important things is energy storage. It is limited with hydraulic systems, high with pneumatic systems, and very low with mechanical systems. And in that order, it is probably lesser than the mechanical systems, probably more than the your mechanical systems in case of the electrical systems. Okay. And we have seen the power terminology also, how you get power in various systems, in hydraulic, pneumatic, electrical and your mechanical systems, and especially efficiency also. We have talked about the efficiency, which is good, which is best, which is better, which is least, etc. So I hope you have enjoyed, thoroughly enjoyed. You have got overall idea about the different systems connected or related to your assistant motor vehicle inspector examination. Okay, boys. So there are talks that some 15 vacancies are there in the APPSC, which has declared 15 vacancies. There are per June there are about 4 posts. If you are serious, some students may be very serious about the, even though the vacancies are less, they may be confident that with the help of coaching they might get the selection, etc. Those who are interested, you can mail me, no problem. So and in Telangana, it is heard that about 90 to 100 vacancies are there, of course, and it has been told a few days back that about 2 months is going to take place for the release of the TSPSC notification. So if you are having any queries regarding your examination AMVI, whether it is APPSC or TSPSC, please drop a mail at sridhar.vpelli@gmail.com. You can have any queries related to your coaching, your material, your what you call your books, or any doubts, or your probably your career also. So any doubts you can clarify with me. Once you put a mail to me at the rate of sridhar.vpelli@gmail.com, I will give my number. You can contact me personally. We can speak and we can sort out. Okay, boys. If you like my channel, if you think that this is all my videos, about 130 videos are there on my channel, please go through them. Definitely they are going to help you, because actually in the 130 videos we have discussed almost entire syllabus, very larger part of the syllabus for your APPSC and TSPSC, right? And I have made some videos for your Telangana also, like specific topics for your Telangana, like your special purpose vehicles, and probably I am going to make some videos for your oil power hydraulics also, and then we will slowly move by one topic. If you like my channel, if you think that these all helping your my videos and my lectures, or let us our discussions are improving your knowledge, or they are helping for your let us say selection, or whatever it is helping your knowledge. So please like, subscribe, comment and share among your groups and contacts. Once again, wish you all the best and good luck, and let us meet in a very nice video, good video, conceptual based video very shortly. Wish you all the best.